Hi everyone, it is the Legendary I back again with more. This I'm going to be talking about COPPA or COPPA and my thoughts about it. So, recently, I think it was around September, we started to get information about COPPA and the FTC getting involved with YouTube. So, for the people that don't know what COPPA is, it's the Children's Online Policy Protection Act, and it's basically to keep little kids from seeing things that they're not supposed to be seeing on the internet. And the FTC is the Federal Trade Commission, and they basically fined YouTube a large amount of money for violating the COPPA law. But they actually made an agreement. They came to an agreement that not just the part that YouTube would be fined a large amount of money, they also came to the agreement that it could basically affect all creators in a way that could basically kill YouTube if you think about it. So, I'll kind of show it up on the screen, but from what I know so far is that COPPA, the law has changed from what it once was. It used to say something like, "Oh well, things that are videos that have toys, popular music, children's songs, games, figurines, all things are kid like would immediately get targeted." And then the FCC kind of read our comments and then they kind of changed it a bit. But this doesn't really change the problem. And if you're wondering why does this even matter, it actually matters because YouTube and the FTC are kind of holding all creators, all content creators slash channel owners reliable for all of their content to be marked as kids or not for kids, just so they can actually kind of. I'm not really sure how they're gonna do this, but they're kind of gonna start changing all the channels that are for kids, and then for the not for kids channels, they'll just stay the same. For the kid channels, they'll be losing targeted ads, which means they'll make 90% less money. They'll be losing comments, community tabs, the ability to live stream, and I think they're also losing the dislike button, and their videos won't be able to be put into a watch later list. Which is really weird because YouTube just uploaded a video a few days ago about watch later and how you can actually put it on your new YouTube stories, but YouTube stories won't exist either, so that's another thing to really think about. And some people are just randomly putting their channels as not for kids, but that doesn't really save you because the way that the old law was written, it was written in a way that if you actually mark something as not for kids just because you don't want to be hit by the law, then if they actually see your videos as being kid friendly because you have a toy in it, you could put something like, I don't know, a Smash Bros. Figure, then you would just immediately be marked as violating the law. Then you'll get fined for 42, I think it's $42 million. I think it's 42 million or 42,000. Not exactly sure, but I know that's a lot of money. And then when they changed it, they realized that there's not everyone has 42 million to just give away to people. So they changed it a little bit, and it kind of made it worse. I know that with it being vague, it would have been kind of worse than it is now, but this is it's kind of a glass cannon if you think about it. Okay, so YouTube actually provided a link to the new FTC article, and it actually says this. Well, it's basically saying that if your videos well, they're realizing that for some of the videos that people are making, they can have toys in them and they're not for kids. Or something that might be seen as kid directed like a cartoon, then realize that's actually not for kids. But it's kind of bad because if you think about it, then basically, if you do, they're basically saying market however you think is best. But the bad part is if you mark something as not for kids when they think it's actually for kids, then you're the one that's getting fined for your own opinion. So it's kind of like saying, I have an opinion on this. I created the content. And just because someone doesn't think that my opinion is correct, then I'm getting fined money for it. That's really messed up. I don't understand why they did it like this. It should have been more clear because the way it is right now is kind of like, oh, well, if I mess up, then we're basically gone. But it's really just worse. It was vague before, but now it's just more like attacking people for having their own opinions. And I'll also show on the screen too. Um, so another thing besides that is they also changed the price. They also changed the price for how much you're getting fined. It used to say 42,000, but now it says up to 42,000 because of the fact that they realize that not everyone just has 42,000 laying around, but it's still a bit open-ended, which is why they're giving us until December 9th to actually give them comments and to actually allow feedback, and maybe they could kind of make the law a little bit more understanding than it already is, because right now as it stands it's actually kind of worse, and as it stood before it was kind of more, it's a little bit more easier to understand, but it still was kind of bad. So I think the best idea is to actually write a comment, and whenever you write a comment you have to leave a nice comment. Please leave a nice comment whenever I leave you the link in the description, and also just talk in the comments about it, because I know this is a very big problem in the community, well, in all communities, because in like Lego, Beyblade, and Bakugan, they are literally just, they're basically mostly adult collectors that have enjoyed these products for a long time and somehow got into it through adulthood. So I feel like this is all just basically a big misunderstanding and just a big mistake. And it'll just affect them greatly, because for those videos that are kind of marked for kids, even I don't really know how to mark my own videos, so I just mark them all as for kids. So for the Lego, Beyblade, and Bakugan communities, they basically are, even though some of them are adults, I'd say still kind of mark it as for kids for now, just to be safe, because we don't really know what kind of firepower this law really has, and we don't really know how bad it's going to be until after December 9th. So I'd say try and play it safe and do that for now. I know it's going to take away most of your revenue and other stuff, but I don't know. That's the best advice I can give, and I'm not really trying to give legal legal advice. I'm just trying to say that it's better to play it safe than to risk it and have to pay a large fine. As for communities like Fate Grand Order or other games that are more mature or for an older audience, I think those might be actually safe, because I think it has to be verified by the law in order for them to to a rating like E for everyone or T for teen or something like that. So I'd say that I think those games are fine. So if it's like Call of Duty, I don't know, just games like that might be fine. So that's about it. Like if you want, favorite if you want, and subscribe for more awesomeness. See you next time, bye, and I'm proving to be legendary.